Today we're going to learn how to create a graph in Microsoft Excel. So the first thing that you need to do is open up Microsoft Excel. So you can do that by going to the Start button and then looking to see if it's up here. If it's not, go to All Programs, Microsoft Office, and then click Excel there. I already have Excel open because I created a data table earlier, so I'm just going to click down here and open that up. So in order to create a graph, you first have to have a data table, and that data table needs to be labeled. So you have to have your independent variables here in this column and your dependent variables here, and the only thing in these boxes can be numbers. Otherwise, Microsoft Excel is not going to understand what you mean. Now, for science fair, we're just going to graph the averages. So we're going to need to copy just this column here, so column A and column E. So I'm going to click on column A1. I'm going to use my left mouse button. I'm going to hold down. I'm going to lift my fingers off the mouse. I'm going to hold the control button. I'm going to put my thumb on the left mouse button. I'm going to click on column E and highlight down. And when I lift my fingers from the mouse, both those columns are highlighted, and they're the only columns that are highlighted. I'm now going to go up here to Insert. And you're going to see up here there's a bunch of data tables and charts. So I want this button up here. So Insert a column chart. I'm going to hit the little caret down, and I'm going to choose a two-dimensional column. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can see it popped up on the screen. I'm going to hit my mouse button, so I've got my graph here. Now, I need to add some titles. So I'm going to go to this button, and I'm going to check this box here. And if you notice, the little access titles already came up here. Okay, so now we need to change these. The y-axis is always your independent, or your, I'm sorry, your dependent variable. Did you hear my dogs come in there? Okay, so for us, that was distance traveled. And I'm going to make sure I include my units in parentheses. And I'm going to click out of that box, and it's there. I'm going to double click the x-axis, which is our independent variable. Oops, I move that over. When you get the crosshairs, you can move it wherever you like. I want to make sure my mouse is inside there. Hit the delete button. There we go. And I'm going to type in the size of M&M. Okay, and there we go. Now my title for my graph always needs to be something along the lines of my independent variable versus my dependent variable. So I'm just going to call this size versus distance. And there we go. Now I want this to be just a little bit bigger, so I'm going to put my mouse on that crosshair and kind of drag it over. Okay, and there's my graph. So now I need to click inside the graph. I want to press and hold the control button, press and hold the C button. I'm going to go to my PowerPoint, which I already had open. I have my data table here. Now I need a new slide, so I'm going to go to New Slide. I'm going to type in graph up here. I'm going to click down here. I'm going to press and hold the control button and press and hold the V button. And there's my data table. And again, within this box, let me move this out of the way, I can drag and make it bigger or smaller. Okay, I can double click on my text here. And for PowerPoints, we always want that to be a little bit larger. So if you hit home and come up here, we want it to be about somewhere in the 20s would be good. Notice this is really small, so I'm going to highlight this as well. Go to home. I'm going to make that about 20 as well so I can see it. Same thing down here, so highlight that. So I'm just double clicking and highlighting home, make that about 20 so we can read it. And there we go. And I can move this in here. I can do all the same things I could do in Excel. Oops, I got a typo over here. So you gotta make sure that you fix that. So TRAVE, travel, space. There we go. Distance traveled. So always make sure you check your spelling. And there you have it. There is our graph that we created in Microsoft Excel, now copied into PowerPoint. Oh, one extra thing. We need to change these a little bit too. So I just clicked on it. I right-clicked. I want to change the font. We want to make that much bigger. So let's make that like 18. And there we go. All done. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.